It is one competition now, and it is global. Unless you lock your country up, like maybe North Korea or Myanmar. Even Myanmar is already exposed. Those of you who have been to Burma, I've been there a couple of years ago, the borders are active, buzzing, with China trades and so on and so forth. But cast aside these two very isolated countries, practically the rest of countries, competition is global. What does that mean? It means that it doesn't mean that only those people that you see around here are your competitors. Actually, it's not. Whatever you do, let's say you want to join a factory that produces whatever, iPhone, let's say, Now, that factory that produces iPhone, let's say if there is one in Singapore, they are competing with the similar factories in Vietnam, China, Mexico, Egypt, wherever. And they sell to the global market. So, Apple will then decide which factory is the most competitive. Competitive means which factory can produce iPhone at the lowest possible cost. Because for Apple, there is a world price. iPhone, there's more or less a global price. So that price, and then the profit margin is what is your cost. The difference is profit margin. So the lower they can press down the cost, the higher the profit margin for Apple. It's as simple as that. So if Apple has 5 factories, one in Singapore, one in China, one in Vietnam, one in Cambodia, Singapore is the most expensive in total. And when they need to expand, let's say orders keep on flowing in, they need to expand, what do? They will expand in the country where the Apple production for cost is the lowest, because that maximizes their profit. And that's why, even if you say no foreign workers into Singapore, that means rely only on Singapore workers. Then unless Singapore workers' productivity is of such a high order, that even though your wages are high, but because you only 3 persons to produce 10 units, when China, they need 30 persons to produce 10 units, you are highly productive. That means 3 of you can command the salaries of 30 persons of China. And everything's still equal. So unless your productivity is as high as that, if your productivity is not as high, sorry lah, your wages will have to be the same as the wage in China. But in reality, our productivity indeed is higher. Therefore, we can command a higher salary. So workers here are higher salary than say in Johor, in Malacca, in Bangkok or whatever. But there is a limit to it. Because if your productivity to be double, triple, that is very difficult to achieve. And how do you achieve productivity? The way to achieve productivity is skill sets, training, attitude. Skill sets, training, attitude. In other words, if you are well schooled, if you are well trained, if you have good attitude, you are not lazy bums. You work, you just 8 to 5, switch off, you want to go to the bar or go somewhere else. Or you're prepared to work very hard, night shifts, whatever shift, overtime, I'll take. Which is what is happening in Vietnam now. So countries, as they develop, attitude keep on changing. The poorer you are, the hungrier you are. So, compared to China, the Chinese worker in China, very hungry. But now, with globalization, workers in Vietnam are now even hungrier than China. And therefore, some factories are already beginning to shift down to Vietnam. And now, they are finding that people in Cambodia, because they are poorer, even hungrier. So, they are also putting Vietnamese workers to great threat and worry. Now, welcome to the world. This is the world. I'm 58 years old. When I was your age, the world was simpler. So long as we work harder within Southeast Asia, we are top. Unfortunately, your world now is the true world. If you don't work as hard as whichever, whether it's Mexico, Egypt, Cambodia, it's tough. And therefore, the only way, but don't because of this get yourself into a depressed state. Because we can compete. We have proven ourselves to be competitive. Remember a few months ago, a very big factory set up in Woodlands. That is multi-billion-dollar US investments. Latest type of wafer fabs and so on. Highly desirable. And because they found Singapore workers still productive. But at high end. That means you must be pretty good with your IT, your mathematics, etc., etc. And Singaporeans, our education system is not bad. All of you are better trained than I was when I was your age. We have made leaps and bounds. So I don't think we need to feel diffident. We can win, we can compete. But we must have the right attitude. We must be prepared to work hard. And if we are prepared to work hard, I think, and we stay united, no. The future will continue to be better than Singapore. This I'm confident. So don't need to feel diffident and worried and get yourself paranoid and ended up mentally ill and then I got to look after you from Ministry of Health. Yeah. There's no need to. There's no need to. We can compete. We have competed